Dave here from Roos, and I'm with Tanner Wayne from In Flames, as well as other projects as well. How you going, mate?
Doing well, my friend. It is an honor to speak with you today.
You too, you too. Big fan of In Flames, but also your drumming as well. But watch some of your Insta stuff, do the drum
Thank you so
cam
much,
kind of
man.
stuff.
Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I need to jump back on it, be a little less lazy. It's tough. It's like I think because my drums are they're at a studio. If
Yep,
they're here, I live in an apartment, so I can't play drums here either. So like if they were where I lived, I'd be just like by default running in there and doing videos. But after we just did a 7 week tour, and like I come home and I see the physical therapist, and then I go to the gym, and I'm like, it's this dance between like I'm not like burnt out by drums, but like I definitely just played hundreds of hours of drums. But it's like this mix also. It's like, all right, my body needs a little break,
of
but I
course, yep.
always have this subconscious worry of like, fuck, I actually just need to maintain this so that when I go to Indonesia in 2 weeks, I'm ready to go instead of like, oh fuck, now I got to get back into the rhythm of it, you know?
Yep. And sore wrists and all the stuff.
Yeah, yeah. But either way, just most of the breaks that we have are short. So this one being like a month, I've just been, working on my body and my mind and just like preparing for another journey, you know?
Yeah, which is the best way to do it. All right,
Yeah.
so you were last in Australia for Knotfest. Was that the last time you were here personally?
Yeah.
Yep. So that was March last year. Um,
Yeah.
and what a massive so the Clash of the Titans. Sorry, I got a few screens here that I'm kind of getting all the info from, but yeah.
Greens, dude. Yeah. The Ozfest was so sick, dude. I mean, Australia is for me, it's so similar to California.
Okay.
Um, as a whole, that's where I live. And
Yep.
so when I get there, it's so nice. It's one of the few places in the world where I don't really have to adjust or like get used to like where I'm at. It just feels like awesome, feels comfortable for me.
Feels a bit like
Especially
home.
how, yeah, exactly. Especially with how obsessed Australia is with coffee, and like the food is so good that like it's super easy to just ease in.
Coffee.
Yeah, exactly. There he is.
I
Other than the fucking jet lag, it's incredible. I absolutely love Australia.
Yeah, cool. I own where I'm recording at the moment is a like our own recording studio, but downstairs is a tattoo shop. That's what I do for a living. And
Okay.
part of the tattoo shop is a coffee shop.
Fuck
So
yeah, dude. I
yeah.
mean, I'm trying to get some tattoos and some coffee while I'm there, huh?
Yeah, well you're welcome. I'll
I know,
slot
man. That would be
slot you in
sick.
somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, cool.
what city are you in?
So I'm in Maitland, which is just near Newcastle. So hour and a half from Sydney.
Okay, so we're fucked either way. Either way, maybe you can come out to a show, but I don't think we can fit in coffee, tattoos, and 3 hours round trip drive. But would love to see you come to the show for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be there anyway, but I'll try and hook up to meet up with you anyway, for
Sick.
sure.
Fuck yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah.
So, the opportunity for joining In Flames, obviously, it's a monumental band for the style and everything like that. It's deep rooted in the start of everything, really. For how was that when you got that kind of call or email, however that worked? Must have felt so awesome.
It I guess I could describe it in many ways. Like, so when I had only met them 6 months prior to that, and 6 months prior to that as well, like that moment I met them, I also got to learn how massive they were. Like, I knew of them.
Yep.
Honestly, I knew Take This Life. That is it. I didn't really like sweet Scandinavian metal was not a part of my playlists. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like, um, if anything, I've always gone towards metalcore, and
Yep.
like the most traditional metal stuff I'd listen to would be like Lamb of God.
Yep.
But I was more into metalcore. I was more in metalcore bands and stuff. So I never really listened to traditional metal. Um, So I was incredibly overwhelmed to find out how massive they were, because the first show I watched, it was either in Norway or Sweden, and it was like, what the fuck is this? Like, sold out arena.
Yeah.
They had they had crazier production then than we've ever had. So they had all these LED walls with fucking dragons and fucking werewolves coming at you. I was like, holy shit. So it was crazy to see and hear a lot of In Flames for the first time
Yeah.
in an arena. It was just like, what the fuck is this? So it was really rad. And like at that time, it was the end of 2017 and Battles was out. And for me, who's not a traditional metal listener, it was like the perfect album and moment for me to like get absorbed into the In Flames world. And I know like a lot of hardcore fans, Battles isn't their favorite record. And I tell fans all the time, because they'll ask me, what's your favorite record? And I'll say Battles.
Yeah.
It's just like what I first heard. And for me already not being Mr. Metalhead, I was able to listen to what they're playing live I was able to absorb it far easily compared to if they're playing 15 different Take This Lives. It was such an easy way to like see what this band was as this huge thing. And Battles is very more of an open record than the thrashy stuff. So it was absolutely insane. So for me to get the call months later, I associated the visual of, oh fuck, what am I getting myself into, was sold out arenas.
Yeah.
And fuck tons of flights. So I was just like, here we fucking go. And it's interesting that I struggle with mental health so much in accordance with how much I say yes to things, because it makes no sense. Right? Like I'll get calls. Hey man, can you come on Friday and do this whole tour? Yeah, fuck it. Like, which is good. It's like the best thing anyone can do as a musician. If you get an opportunity, especially if you know you can do it, is you just fucking say yes and then figure it out later. You might crumble on the way there, but you gotta
makes you stronger.
Exactly. And for me, I've told the story a million times. I could not play Take This Life, Mirror's Truth, Everything's Gone, and whatever was at that caliber of double kick or fast ride stuff. So not only did I get the call, not only did I get the offer, I also kind of just lied and told them, yeah, let's go.
Of course, I can do that.
And because I literally lied, the whole flight there, I was just, okay, fuck. What's going to happen when I enter this fucking room and they took a chance on me and we have a show in 3 days and I can't do it? Lucky enough, everything always works out. And I just faked it till I made it. There was a couple.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, there was a couple. Yeah, oh my God, it's huge, man. There was a couple pulled calves mid-show that happened. But lucky enough, I've had those instances where I'm not necessarily the guy, but I convince them that I am, and then I just go and fucking do it, and it all works out, and it just makes me a better musician on the way.
Yeah, well, that is how you grow. And I think actually my young daughter's kind of she's drumming and she's entering that world, and she's like, I'm not good enough to start this band. And I'm like, just start it, get it going, and then you'll work it out.
Yeah, especially at that age. I must have been in like 4 bands before I was actually in like a band. Like I was in 4 things until like finally we were actually making music that like maybe someone wanted to listen to, and like now we're actually playing a show. But it is funny because if I look at, I've only had a couple gigs in my career that were, oh yeah, I could do this. Cool. Most of them, the majority are like, fuck, I don't know if I can do this.
How am I going to do this? Yeah.
Yeah. And like, what a fucking risky fucking move I've made, but it's just set my whole career up. And it's also, someone asked me yesterday in another podcast, like, having to do with like mental health in accordance with like pre-show. And it's like, I don't get nervous. Like maybe nerves or like some sort of physical anxiety, like, okay, we're about to fucking play. But like every time I kill it with a crazy opportunity, it just builds my confidence a little more. I'm probably, because I deal with mental health stuff, I'll probably be more fearful of like the claustrophobia I'll have on the way to the gig. But once we
Yep,
get to the gig, I'm playing
that's
500,000
fine.
people. I'm like, let's fucking go. Like,
Yeah,
and there's
that's
so much
that's your
shit
thing.
going on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like my brother put it to me simple is like, that's my element. I'm in my
Yeah,
element. Here I am. I
yeah,
might fuck up in my element, but I don't give a fuck and
no.
whatever, rock and roll. So I've been very lucky, but it's also obviously like partnered with militant hard work for decades, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. And your dad was a drummer, is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you started pretty young and got the kind of the right teaching, I would kind of think.
Yeah, music was always around, and I'm honestly curious what I would have chosen if I wasn't like told to go sit on the drums. And mind you, I was 9 years old. So it's not like I had even an idea of like, oh, maybe I'll do like the bass or I don't fucking know. And I was just hanging out. My dad's like, hey, go play the drums. And then he told me that I had it. And he was like,
Yeah,
oh shit, he can do this. Okay, let's fucking, and they're so fucking rad. I'm so lucky to have my parents because they immediately put the whole family into music lessons. Choose an instrument, and we're gonna
yeah,
send you to music lessons. And I thanked them the other day, as I do once a month, once a week. Is like, without supportive parents like that, how is a 9-year-old supposed to buy himself a music lesson? Like
yeah, that's
I
right.
1000% owe it to my parents. And they kind of were like, no, 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 it's all you. It's like, no, no, no. I don't have money for a drum set. I don't have money for a music lesson. And I don't have like the support either on my own. I'm 9 years old.
Yeah, that's right.
And they're absolutely incredible and absolutely supportive to this day. And yeah, so it was really rad to have a musical dad already who, if anything, he probably just wanted all his boys to jam.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
within the next couple of years, me, my two brothers, and my dad, we were in like the family band and we were jamming. So I'm sure a part of it was he wanted all of us to be in a band together.
yeah, for sure. This is the dream as a musician. Do you have kids yourself?
I don't.
No, no.
But when the time comes, we talk about it all the time, me and my fiance. Like,
Yep.
I'm gonna put my kid in piano lessons, like as early as his brain can handle a piano lesson, because I wish I took him. You can always learn a million fucking instruments, but for me, if I learned piano, I'd be much
Having the
better of
basis of
a
that.
songwriter. Yeah, exactly. Now you can play guitar, or at least know what you're
Yeah,
talking
chord
about when it comes to
structures and
guitar. Yeah. So I wish I learned that. And I'm definitely gonna make my kids learn that shit. And especially if they're on a date or if they're at the train station, they're at some weird spot that has a public piano. I want them to fucking go up and just
yeah, just nail it.
shred. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, awesome, awesome. So going over, so you're a Pearl in Dorset, is that
Yep.
right? Yep, yep, and
Yep.
Zildjian as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, cool. You use Masters kits, is that right?
Yeah, yeah. Who knows what I'll be using on this next tour because it's all rental gear.
Okay, yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, Pearl drums, Zildjian cymbals, Evans heads, Pearl Mark sticks,
yeah,
and hope I'm not forgetting one. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I would say you would get a Masters kit. So I'm touring as well, touring musician. Masters are pretty well the standard for higher end stuff. So I'd say you'll get the Masters. But what's your kind of love with the Masters kit? Like I play a lot of instruments. I love the Pearl Masters, but what's your kind of take on that?
I am a peasant when it comes to the discussion of drums. And what I mean by that is like I'm such a lover of drums, right? And I'm like a full advocate for instance, my one of my students hit me up the other day and asked me what kind of snare he should buy and whatever. Like I think that a lot of the time the drum needs the player. It needs a good head. It needs someone who knows how to tune, and you can make a fucking $50 kit sound
Yeah,
magical.
totally.
Not what the Masters kit is. The Master kit is fucking masterful. So when I set up, it's just I know that this was built with pride. I know that there's enough plies and enough quality gear within it that it's just gonna fucking sound beautiful. But that's kind of what's awesome about the drum world is like it's not like guitar in the sense that like you can go up, and if it's that level of a kit from any company, like you're going to be taken
It's going to
care
be
of.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, instead of the guitar world, which I'm assuming is a little more complicated. So the Masters stuff has been incredible, and mind you, I walked into that. I walked into the first rehearsal room, and they said, "This is your kit," and I was like, "Okay, cool." So
How
I haven't
good's that?
really even had like a choice. Like that's just been it, and it's been fucking incredible. Sounds great in my ears, and it's been yeah, it's been a joy for sure.
Yeah. And you teched for Suicide Silence as well, didn't
Yeah,
you? Yeah.
yeah,
So,
I took for Suicide Silence. He was all Tama, which again, like anytime we dealt or worked with a kit, a lot of it was rental. It was always just incredible. It was like if it's that quality, then it's going to be great. A lot of Babinga kits and stuff, European stuff. But yeah, I did him, and then when I met In Flames, I was with Of Mice and Men, which was all DW stuff, which was
yep.
really fucking sick. Harder to tune and harder to work in different rooms, but really fun. And then I did Cannibal Corpse, Die Artist Murder. Just punished myself with massive kits to set up every fucking day. But I was lucky enough, like there's aspects of that too. It's like obviously I prefer to play, and it's kind of a lazier day than being a crew guy. But like I was lucky enough that I begged for that Suicide Silence gig because I had no tours. I was a little younger, and it's all I knew, and it's kind of still all I know is touring. So I was lucky enough that they took a chance on me, and from there I met every band that I would go and work for anyways. From there I worked for Cannibal Corpse, and then Thyroid is Murder, and just all these bands. I just
Yep.
kept in the loop pretty much, and I got to, anytime I would be trying the kits out and stuff, people got to see that I was
How you played.
capable of this
Yep.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have to jump and do another interview.
All right, cool. So one last thing, I guess, anything you want to give to, I've kind of got the younger kind of metal rock drummers for a bit of inspiration. Anything you want to say?
Well, first and foremost, practice, practice, practice. You got to have intention of like you're practicing for you, and you're not practicing for the money, and you're not practicing for some like fictitious goal in your mind. You gotta, you have to set, this is what I want to achieve, but it has to be matched with effort and with positive intention, or you're kind of just shooting darts in the air. And beyond that, go get a GoPro or some sort of whatever, your iPhone, and make as many videos as you can, and just put them out, put them out, put them out.
Yeah.
Because again, when I started doing that during like COVID times, I had no idea of how it was going to go, and it went really well. And it was mostly just because of not to discount the quality, but it was content over quality. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
was I put
Yeah.
one out every day,
Yeah.
and some of them wouldn't hit. I didn't really care. I'm just such a fan of drumming to music that it was such a great way for me to do that. And these days, the technology's so fucking crazy that you don't really have to have much to put some content out there.
And it's going to be great
For
quality
sure.
anyway. All
Yeah.
right, cool. Well, we'll leave you with that, and hopefully I get to see you. But February, we'll see you in Australia.
Fuck yeah, man. Fucking hit me up, DM me, and let's hang. I'm stoked to see you in Sydney.
Awesome. All right.
Awesome, brother.
Thanks for your
Cheers,
time.
mate.
See you later.